Hey, it's Dr. McLean with Vital Energy Chiropractic. About a year ago, my neighbors called me and they had bought this huge saltwater fish tank. And they asked me if I could help them come carry it in so they could get it set up. They had built a stand for it. And so I helped them carry it in. And then before I left, they were explaining to me how much it takes to get the internal environment of this aquarium set up, meaning to get the coral established. And this is a saltwater tank, so you've got to have the right balance of pH and nitrates. And I don't quite understand it, but it's a very delicate balance, and it takes a lot of energy to get that going. And so then you can start to introduce the fish, and then you have this internal environment. And so, I don't know, a month or two after that, after they got this set up, they'd asked me to come and feed the fish. And I was honestly a little nervous because I didn't want to make mistakes. I'd heard if you mess it up, you can really kill all the wildlife in there. And so I did, no problem. I did it several times over the last year or so. And right now I'm actually feeding the fish again because they're out of town. And this time he asked me if I could also change the water. And he showed me how to do it, and it's a pretty simple process, but again, I don't want to mess it up. And he said, listen, this environment now is really established. So even if you mess things up, even over a few days or a week or so, it's not going to be a big deal because this environment is established now. It's going to take a lot more to pull it off track. And I thought that was really interesting. This is so true also when it comes to our personal habits, our rituals, our habits, our routines that we do. Is once we get those things established, whether they're having positive impacts in our life or whether they're having negative impacts in our life, once you get those things going, it's much harder to stop those things. It's kind of like a big train. These big locomotives, they spend a ton of energy getting going. Once they get going, it takes a lot for them to stop. So I think about, for example, I have a morning, what I call morning ritual that I do every morning. I take a cold shower, I visualize, I meditate, I go through my spinal rehab, I do some journaling. So there's these steps that I do, and when I wake up, I just automatically start doing this process. And I do it probably 99% of the time. Unless we're traveling, I'll still do parts of it even when we're traveling. But if we're at home, 99% of the time I do it. It feels very awkward not to do it. And once I get up, I just automatically start doing it. It's like there's this magical force just kind of pulling me forward. And so I want you to really think about this with these rituals and routines. Think about the things that you'd like to produce in your life, the goals you'd like to achieve, the targets that you'd like to hit, whether that's with your health, of course, but it could be other areas, relationships or finances or things like that. And a lot of times in the beginning, those things, whether it's weight loss or getting off of medication or something like that, it can seem overwhelming. But if you start really, really small and you think about the outcome that you want to create, and then you just work backwards and go, what would be one of the things or habits that I have to do on a daily or a weekly basis to produce that result? And then you start doing that for even a minute or two per day. And you do that consistently. And then you can build on that. And once you have this, again, habit or ritual routine, once you get that established, it's going to become really easy and it's going to be harder to pull you off track. It goes the same for my fitness. I do my fitness roughly the same time each day of the week. And so I typically work out at least 5 days a week, sometimes 6 or 7 days per week. And I rarely miss my workout because I've been doing it for so long. Again, it feels very foreign not to do that. So really think about those rituals and routines that you're already doing and what can you do to keep the good ones going and what can you do to interrupt the process of the ones that are not giving you the results that you desire.